Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam amma ba'da habita fillah. A question was asked from one of our brothers, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve us in him. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. He said, Assalamu alaikum. May Allah bless you. I had a question regarding learning Arabic. Alhamdulillah, Allah has given me the passion to study Islam. And since I have no resources of learning Islam, I have, alhamdulillah, started memorizing Quran and want to learn Arabic. But the problem here is no sheikh around me to teach me Arabic. I only have YouTube. So my question, what would be the best book and best course on YouTube for self-study? And also, if I study at home, will my Arabic be fluent or will it be weak? Since I have no Arabic speakers around me, or should I not learn Arabic and wait for the Medina's acceptance list? Jazakallah khairan. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika an ushrika bika wa ana a'lamu astaghfiruka lima a'lamu. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhaban nar. The brother asked a very relevant question and a very beneficial question, and a question that is pertinent to his situation. And as far as the path that you've embarked on is a path azim, it's a great path, and we mentioned this hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam many times. Man salaka tariqan yaltamisuhu bi ilmin sahalallahu lahu tariqan ila jannah. Whoever traverses the path of knowledge, then Allah will make easy for him the path to paradise. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Min yuridillahu bihi khayran yafaqqahu fi din." Whenever Allah wants good for a person, He gives them understanding of the religion. And the Prophet ﷺ said that the scholars are the inheritors of the prophets, alayhim afdal salatu wassalam, and that they inherit ilm. And so we know, since that's the path to Jannah, since that is the sabil of opening khair, kullu, then you've embarked on a great and fantastic journey. And follow your passion and go forward and let nothing stop you or impair you. And one thing I want to mention on that path of talab al-ilm is, as somebody had mentioned to me, which I did not take that advice and understand the import of that advice when they told me. I remember when I went to go to Yemen, and I stopped in New Jersey in Abu Muslim's community at that time, because at that time that was a center where a lot of students would go overseas, go to Yemen and go to Medina from America, especially in New Jersey, New York, and from all over. In fact, a lot of brothers passed through there before they went overseas. And I remember a brother pointing out around the masjid, and he said, see that, this one, he studied Yemen for such and such. This one, he studied such and such place. This one studied such and such place. This one, all around the masjid for a year, 2 years, 3 years, this one. Basically saying that a lot of the guys had inqita, and this is what I actually did myself. Inqita referring to that they stopped, that they began to study a little bit, and then they stopped, they came back. And so it's very important to stay consistent in learning, and especially consistent in learning Arabic. Learn Arabic strong from the beginning. And I've studied and stopped and studied and stopped, just telling my personal experience, which only came to my, the end result is my shortcomings in the Arabic language, even after many, many, many years of on and off study. And I find that some who've studied just 2 years, 3 years, probably 3 years and stuff like this, have Arabic equivalent, if not better than mine, for the simple fact of persistent, strong study and getting grounded to where you don't have to go back to the same books, back to the same revision. So it's very important to be consistent and read a lot. So getting back specific to your question, with this passion, definitely embark on learning Arabic, regardless of whether you get accepted in Medina or not, and not to wait for that list. And give yourself a head start, or keep going, regardless of what happens if you get into Medina or some other university or not. That's the first point. The second point is that's excellent. You're memorizing the Quran. The Quran is what you need the teacher for, more than you need Arabic. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the Quran, if you make mistakes, lahan, very serious mistakes that change the meaning, by mispronouncing things, mispronouncing letters and words that actually change and impair the meaning, this could make your salat batil. It could make your salat incorrect. So the Quran is what for sure you need a teacher to teach you proper tajweed and to listen to you and hear your mistakes and help you and correct you along that path. So a Quranic teacher is imperative. The second point, as far as Arabic, as you mentioned, the YouTube, there are many free courses that many brothers and masajid have done. And I'm aware that I know that some of the masajid in the UK and dawah centers and stuff have done the Medina books as well as the book series Arabi Baina Yaday. And both of them have their benefits and their weaknesses. Medina is geared more for the religious regions, and so that's one thing you have to keep in mind why you're learning Arabic. And with that in mind, that assesses your goal. So obviously most of us are not learning Arabic because we want to read political science and science journals, keep up with the daily newspaper in Arabic countries or whatever. That's probably not the goal of most of us, unless you want to specialize in Arabic. Nor is it so since it's religious based, the Medina books I think offer you more. However, you can benefit and get the same natija, whatever program generally that is a strong program in a strong course, that you can get the same. The main thing is you want to get the competency. The second point with that, again, assessing your goals, that the goal for most of the tulab, we don't think of that a lot of times when we begin to study, a lot of us, but it really isn't to speak. Speaking is not our goal when we are English speakers and, speakers from China and speakers from all the various countries, that we're going to be articulating the message of Islam back in our languages. So it's not necessary that you are necessarily strong in speech. And you'll find even a lot of graduates I've seen from Jama Islamiyya in Medina and other universities, and they tafawut. Some people are very strong in their speaking. Some people, they didn't mix enough. They didn't gain that strength in speaking, but they have the tools to go to the text, ask intelligent questions, and they understand. So that's the whole point, is why you have to assess what your language goals. It isn't important that you're fluent. Even for speaking to the ulama, you don't have to have a whole high degree of fluency. You just need to know what is, how to communicate in a sufficient manner, that what you say is understood and that you understand what they say. So the competency, I wouldn't worry about that other fluency. That is an additional bonus for those people who are blessed to live in Arabic countries, Arabic speaking countries. Then they immerse themselves in the language. For example, if you go to Egypt, or you're here in Saudi Arabia even sometimes less so depending on your environment. Me, I work here, so I don't have the same opportunity compared to if I was just a student or something like the students in Jama Islamiyya. What they mix in, they mix. And more English is becoming more widespread. But in a place like Yemen, for example, you were immersed in the language because not many people spoke English. So the point is you learn a different level of fluency by mixing with the people. So I would say, to keep this as short as possible, that assessing your goals, and most of us it's for the religion, what you need to know and learn is how to understand these books, and how to communicate and articulate a question to the ulama and benefit from their durus. So it's about, really more so, it's about fahm, it's about understanding. That's probably the most important thing with regards to Arabic language. We don't need to be fluent and give khutbahs fully in Arabic and stuff like that. That's beautiful if you can. If you're speaking to an Arabic community or some other community that only deals with Arabic, then that's excellent. That's great that you have that competency. But for most of us, that's not a necessity. If you're going back to Indonesia, you don't need to know how to fluently speak Arabic, but you need to know how to You need to know the Quran, and you need to know the Nusus from the book and the Sunnah, and you need to be able to go back to the books of Ahl Islam and the ulama of Islam, and the other things that I've already mentioned. And we ask Allah the Almighty to accept our good and forgive our evil, and bless you on your journey, and bless all of those who are trying to seek ilm nafiya. May Allah bless us with ilm nafiya, rizqan tayyiban wa amalan mutaqabbilan, wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.